Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Welcome to being here.
Yes.
I'm Ariel.
I'm Shia.
Collectively the Kings.
That's right.
We do finish each other's sentences. If it's your first time with us, get ready.
Or not.
Or not, but
Or
you
not.
know, if you want living made easy, you may as well celebrate the unexpected or even the expected.
Well, you know, worrying about how the future is going to turn out only ruins the moment. So all your worries seem to be about the future. Here's the thing. Our approach is not psychotherapeutic. So it's not about fixing you or changing you. It's not problem solution oriented. If it were, I'd have a solution to my cat's annoyance with the outside weather right
She's
now.
not happy with weather.
No.
And we're pre-recording this and it's snowing nice and hard outside and she can't quite figure out whether or not, you know, what to do with it. She's clearly resisting it.
She doesn't like it.
Mm-mm.
She's voicing her protest.
You may not be able to hear it.
But here's the thing. Voicing your protest does not change the weather.
That is so true. Hey, you know what does, well, not change the weather, but change your experience of the weather?
What gets you into the current moment of your life is listening, is truly hearing what another person has to say, not filtering it through what you already believe to be reality or true, so that you actually listen rather than talk in your head about how you agree or disagree with what they're saying or already know it. What if you could discover a life newly in each moment rather than same old, same old? I mean, then it could get very exciting if you're here for it.
Listening to you is key to living made easy. As I listen to you and just relax that busy internal commentary that can get wound up pretty easily, something just relaxes. My life is easy.
You mean when you listen to me, you don't think about all the emails you have to do?
Oh, no, I've been reminded. Yes. No, I don't. Because in that moment, I don't have to do them. It's
That's
not
right.
what I'm up to. When you invest in what you're up to, your battery keeps recharging itself. And then when you turn your attention to what you might consider tasks like emails or making a meal or cleaning
Washing the
something
dishes.
or doing the floor, vacuuming, whatever the task is, it's easy rather than having actually done it 10 times in your head unsuccessfully prior to doing it, because it's always unsuccessfully if you're simply thinking about it. It becomes successful when you actually do it.
Yes, I see.
Kitty is playing now. She's much happier.
She's much happier.
There we go. We have a guest. Shall we take her?
Yes, please.
All right. Miss Micah, welcome to being here.
Hi, Ariel. Hi, Shia.
Hi, Micah. You look good.
Thanks a lot. I was just starting to laugh when I heard that your kitty is complaining about the weather. and now she is playful because she has a little toy and she's playing around, so she's not thinking any longer about the weather.
That's
so
right. It's like us.
Yeah, it's like me.
Where are you zooming in from today, Micah?
I'm zooming in from Düsseldorf in Germany.
Excellent. Welcome to being here.
Thanks a lot. Lovely to be with you here. I'm in a new project at the moment. I started in December last year. And before I'm a freelancer, and it was quite difficult for me to find a new project because of the coronavirus. So I was complaining about not having a project. And then since December, I'm in this new project and I see that when I'm not engaged enough, or when I'm not happy with what I have to do during this project, so it's not playful for me. I don't know, perhaps now it comes playful. I'm really complaining about it's too much, too difficult. I'm working in home office.
Just so you know, the weather hasn't changed in the last. You're waiting for the project to turn playful. Our cat got playful because she got playful.
The weather hasn't
The weather
changed.
hasn't changed. The circumstances haven't changed.
But she got engaged in something other than complaining about what she didn't like.
And I have to say, Micah, I love you, and I love what you were just talking about, because people actually think the circumstances cause their complaints. So back when you were between jobs due to coronavirus, and you were like, oh, coronavirus, COVID, no job, what will I do? And you were complaining. One of the things we kept challenging you with, and you kept challenging yourself with, was to not use those circumstances as a reason to feed into the complaint mill, because the complaint mill complains with whatever the current circumstances are. And I saw you largely be able to step out of that complaint, which is interesting timing that you got a job after that.
Yes.
But that propensity to complain is still here. Just
Look,
a new set of circumstances.
See, you not only learned German as a little girl, you learned to complain about life the same way everybody else did.
You learned schmullen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you've learned that being upset over the circumstances is normal. And so you do that automatically. It isn't like you decide to be upset or complain. It's that it's so normal. It's like breathing.
Yeah.
And everybody you know complains.
Yeah.
You know, if it isn't about COVID, it's about the weather. If it isn't about the weather, it's about their job.
If it isn't about their job, it's about vaccine.
If it isn't about vaccines, it's about their husband or wife.
Yeah.
If it isn't about that, it's about their kids, or lack of kids, or having kids, or divorce, or bank account, or my car won't start, or
Name a subject and people will complain about it.
going back to school, not going back to school. It has been a really wonderful time for us to be working with our friend and principal who is a principal
of a high school here in New York City.
In the Bronx, New York City. How happy she is.
Yeah, she
and the
said,
well-being of her students.
Yeah, and she said, you know, she's the only happy principal in New York City.
Now, everybody's complaining about online learning. Yes, it may not be
ideal.
It's not optimal. It's not what any of us would prefer, but
it can be done
as if it is what you prefer.
If you do it as though, if you do whatever you're doing as though it's your idea, suddenly you're liberated from the complaint factor of life.
If living is not easy, you are absolutely complaining about what is.
Yeah.
You know, anything you resist, don't want, don't like, intensifies. It follows you around. You go to bed, you think about it.
It persists. It dominates your thought process. Anything you resist dominates your life. So that's the first principle of instantaneous transformation. Second principle, life shows up exactly as it does in the current moment. It can't be different than it is. It is what it is. And the third principle, anything you see without trying to fix or change or judge completes itself in your seeing it. In that instant of seeing it, it's already over. So if you actually saw your complaints without complaining about them, they would end.
And here's the thing about change and transformation. Change is, aha, I need to stop complaining. I need to notice my complaints and not do that anymore. And then that's a goal you strive toward. In a transformational framework, it's about noticing what is without judging what you see. So from time to time, you'll notice, oh, look, I'm complaining. Before we started this show, we were with our wonderful producer for today's show, Jen, and the other guest, and we were chatting with you. And one of the last things she said to all of us is, you can't do this wrong.
So you can't do your life wrong. And I'll prove it to you. Be different than you are right now. Too late. Now went by, and you could have only been the way you were. But you could try again if you like.
Here we go.
Ready? Oh,
Oh,
no,
too
no,
late.
that's the way you were, not
now
the way you are right now.
Yeah.
See, moments of now come as individual units, if you will. They are distinct and they're constantly in flux. They're constantly changing. The universe is held together by change. You know, they have atoms going around. You know, atoms have nucleuses and electrons, and it's constantly moving. Life is constantly in change, but it can only be exactly as it is in current time, in this moment. You cannot be different than you are right now, which is pretty good, because right now you feel pretty good, you see.
Yes, I do.
Yes, I can see it.
So
Yeah.
there's the physicality and your well-being,
Mhm.
and your mind, which comes along for the ride. It is a survival machine, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a failing on your part to
In
have
fact-
a survivalistic mind.
In fact, it's kept your family line, your genetic history intact long enough for you to be here.
My survivalistic tendency showed up a little over a week ago. They, in our county, our section of New Jersey, they release COVID vaccine appointments once a week. And I got ready for it, 2 weeks ago. And I sat down, and when they released it between 5:30 and 8, and I missed. And then they said, okay.
5:30 in the morning
And
and 8.
8 in the morning, I was like, oh. So they said, okay, 10 o'clock, we're going to release more. So I got all ready. And then when it happened, I couldn't get the trackpad on my computer to scroll. Turns out I have 2 computers. I was using the wrong trackpad. I got pretty frantic. I tried to do it on my phone. By the time I typed in Shai's information on the phone, because only Shai is eligible right now, they were all filled. Within 10 minutes, they filled. And immediately, my thoughts were, oh, I did it wrong. And Shai said, that's okay. You didn't do it wrong. It's just, that's how it was.
Wrong timing.
And my mind went, oh, what if he gets it between now and then? What if I killed him? And then the background, and I should have been more prepared. So it was a forward and a back. And he looked at me and said, Ariel, someone else was supposed to have that spot. It's perfect. We'll try again next week.
Wow.
Next week, we got up 5:30 in the morning. Every 10 minutes, I refreshed the screen. Exactly 10 a.m. when I refreshed it, the 450 appointments came. I filled it in as fast as I could. I picked one that looked like it didn't have things filling fast. I got it within between 3 and 4 minutes, all 450
appointments were taken.
But it was really important that I not be talking to myself about having done it wrong in the past or trying to get it right this or what will happen. Or it was about being here and just making it, doing the autofill, getting his name, picking a time, and really being here. It made it easy. And what was especially easy is I didn't spend a week between Wednesdays berating myself.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
the other thing is this: you complain as though you should have done something differently than you did.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
And only have done what you did exactly as you did it. I made a fishing fly the other day. And then yesterday I went out on the river and went fishing with it. And this fly was not pretty. It lacked, in certain areas of my aesthetics. And I thought, well, it's all right, but immediately 2 fish grabbed this fly. Immediately.
Mm.
Whether I think it's perfect or not, it was. Life shows up exactly as it does. Your relationship is exactly what it is, except when you want it to be different, it gets in trouble.
Yeah.
When you think Stefan should do something differently than he does, that's when you guys have difficulties.
Yeah.
He can't be different than he is. He's exactly as he is in each moment, as are you. You could celebrate that unique moment of your life called now.
I remember once we were coaching a woman who was a semi-professional horseback rider. And her horseback riding coaches were berating her for not having correct posture. And it was in the time frame when Shai and I used to do body work with people, and we were giving her a physical body work session. And when we really looked at her, we realized one side of her body was actually physically shorter than the other. Mm-hmm. So it was for her going to be for the rest of her life, if she wanted to be upright and present the correct looking posture on her horse, she needed to compensate for that short side. There was nothing wrong with her. It was just a fact. That side had less length in it. That complaining nature is not a problem. It's something all of us have. Sometimes it gets triggered, and it's almost like discipline. You practice being here. And that's in what you might consider the good times, what you might consider the bad times. As you're here, you can bring yourself upright, as in center. Yes, you just took a breath. It was a beautiful breath, and it took no effort. It was easy.
Wow, thank you. I can feel it in my whole body, how relaxed I am, much more before I called in.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for
really
being
a treat,
with us.
Micah.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Hope to see you very soon. Hopefully next call, next video, next show. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight.
Okay, so here we go.
We're going to hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life. Let's see.
Yeah, and if you'd like to learn more about what we're up to, you could register for any of our upcoming virtual courses.
Or sign up for our newsletter. Just visit
transformationmadeeasy.com.
It really is easy.
It is easy if you know the way.
Hi, I'm Arne from Cologne, Germany. Yeah, when I'm not in a good mood, I'm hearing the radio show, and then it's all gone, my thoughts in my head, and I'm feeling free and peaceful.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shire's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
Our upcoming Living Made Easy virtual seminars. The next one is on Monday. There's none this week. Happy Easter, everyone who celebrates. So Monday, April 5th, and then on Tuesday evening, European time in the afternoon, Eastern time, we also have the bilingual Tuesday evening Living Made Easy seminar, as well as Saturday the 10th. Upcoming in the following week are our 2 seminars, The Freedom to Breathe on Friday the 16th. And as you could perhaps feel, I could certainly feel with Micah, that all it takes is one breath to be here. One breath. We'll be playing with breath for the day. And then on Saturday and Sunday,
We do Celebrating the Unexpected.
that's the 17th and 18th.
You know how upsetting it is when things show up and you're not expecting them? Well, what if you could celebrate those unexpected moments rather than resist them?
Also, we're in the midst of the launch of Living Made Easy on Demand. It's our subscription series. We are running a promotion right now.
It's our video subscription series where you receive a video of us working with someone or a couple each week in your inbox.
And also there's special first run articles. There's a format where you can write in questions and we answer them. And there's special video messages from the 2 of us. So right now, if you subscribe, you get an extra month free. It's our little promotion in this new launch, and it's beautiful. And the folks who participate are really, really lovely. So if you want to know more about our seminars or anything that we're up to, just go to transformationmadeeasy.com. Should we take our next guest?
Oh, yes, let's.
All right, Franziska. Welcome to being here.
Hi, Ariel. Hi, Cheyenne.
Hi.
This is Franziska from Germany, Hamburg calling.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I just had an amazing moment, just being in the moment, and I really enjoyed it. My son is autistic, so he can't accommodate with new situations. And he's doing a course every Saturday, and it's called Crafternoon. So he's doing some stuff with friends, and there was a new girl in this call, and he immediately zoomed off. He said, "No, I can't." And instead of going, "You have to," I said, "Okay, you can't. It's okay, it's fine with me." It was such an amazing moment for me that I could say, yes, it's okay not to be part of this today. It's not the moment. And it made me so happy that I could just relax in this moment.
Yeah, I love that, Franziska, because I know for your average parent, if a child says, "No, I can't," there's either a time of negotiation or you say, "Okay, if you don't do this, then you can't have that." But with an autistic child, the rules all change.
Yes.
And I love that you're learning how to say yes to him, to yourself, to the situation.
To the moment. See, because life shows up like it does in the moment. And if you're a yes to it, solutions make themselves available. If you're a no, you create the opposite of what you want. And you can see that with an autistic child.
It's very immediate.
Yes.
Explosive.
Yeah, and it's so easy for me to do this with my son because I know how he reacts, and I don't do this with myself. And it's so hard to see.
You don't do this with yourself.
Because I'm thinking a lot. I've got not a new job. I'm a nutrition. I work as a freelancer, and I've got some patients are really exhausting, and I have to do a lot for them. And I resist to do it because I just say, oh no, it's so exhausting to do this for them.
What
I'm
really what's really exhausting is your no.
Yes. And it's so different to see my yes in this moment with my son and my heavy no with me.
I don't know that it's just fully a heavy no with you.
Yeah.
You apply a different standard to some of your nutritional patients. You think, well, they're adults, they should act more adult-like. I shouldn't have to do this.
What if your adults were actually children, maybe even on the autistic scale?
Yes, I should see them so.
Well, if you do, it would not be so exhausting.
Yes.
Because you would not resist their resistance.
Yeah.
There's something else about that, Franziska. I don't know how you've managed it, but you have managed it. And, when you want to unlock something, it's easier to unlock it from the inside. So you'll probably see the mechanics of it. I've seen you for many years. I've watched your son grow. I know that he's pretty deeply in the autistic scale. So he has a lot of characteristics and actions and ways of operating that isn't in what you call the scale of normal. So his response to things are very, very exaggerated. Can be, not always, but they can be there from time to time, and you don't know when it's going to happen. But you have found in you the capacity to love him as he is. You've accessed that non-judgmental framework. You're not applying to him a comparative standard. Comparison-wise, he should be X. No, he is him, and you operate with him as he is. You haven't taken this incredible skill set you've developed and realized that you can just operate similarly with a person who comes to you and they say, I want to get my health better, and you show them what to do and they say, no, I won't do it. And then you're like, well, why are you coming to me? Why are you paying me? Go away. I mean, you haven't use that same skill set to coax them into themselves.
Yes, you're right.
You haven't allowed yourself to deeply love them.
The way they are, not the way you would prefer them to be.
You're so damn right. It is amazing. Yes, I see that.
Well, you have all the keys, to having these people win with you, because your son is winning with you, not because of him, but because of you.
Thank you.
See, how you relate to him has a lot to do with the way he reacts to his environment. And if you get upset with his being upset, it only gets worse.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you relax into it, he can relax.
Yes.
Well, it's the same thing with your nutritional clients who are upset a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Even before they met you, they came to you upset, you see.
What if they're not really coming to you primarily for nutrition? What if they're coming to you because you have a state of well-being that when they
are with you, they feel good?
It's funny that you say that, because I got 3 new clients and we started with nutrition, and they asked me if I could coach them because it was so much fun to talk to me. And I was, in the first one, I was saying, no, I can't. And then I relaxed into the moment and said, yes, I love having fun. I love to help people in their lives, and I love your approach, and it helped me so much in the last 10 years.
Well, darling, you've learned how to listen.
Yes,
And
I'm so glad.
that makes such a difference in the way people feel around you. Because you see, these 3 new clients, you listen to them, and they've never had anybody who really listened like that to them, and they feel heard and seen, and that relieves them of the need for attention because you gave them your full attention.
Yeah, and it's so much easier to be with them and to listen to them than to tell them what they have to change in their life.
They don't have to change anything in their life. All they have to do is be here.
Yes, sometimes they have to change their food stuff because they need to. But if they don't want to, I can't help them. But I can listen, and that is so much fun. That is so great.
You know, if they get together with you and it's fun socially, they may find that they spontaneously want to make those changes that appear inconvenient. So I'll give you an example. Not too long ago, I started Zumba with someone from our community who you may know. Her name is Juta. And she is a brilliant teacher, and the courses are half an hour in length. And when I first came, I'd never done it before. I found the steps a little bit confusing, but also my level of endurance, even though I did a lot of walking, I do other things, that sparked a different set of muscles. So I found my endurance wasn't fully in place. But looking at her, and she was having so much fun doing it. And there was a gap between her level of fun and my level of fun that I didn't make myself wrong for, but I saw in her a possibility. And I've kept with it. And now I have fun doing it. It's not that I didn't have fun before, I did, but my capacity for fun has expanded. And she never once said, no, you're not lifting your legs enough. You're not doing. She kept encouraging us to go at our speed. And I felt so encouraged to just go for it.
You know, Francesca, a couple of days ago, I had this really incredible thought. And it was about, and that you have an autistic son,
it's perfect.
It's perfect for this thought. And the thought was, if I wanted to raise a well-balanced child, would I berate it or correct it?
In this case, him, because it's your son.
And complain about everything he does, would I allow him to be okay the way he is? What would produce a really well-balanced child? And I realized that each of us have an internal governor or dictator that's been there since our earliest childhood and has told us we're doing it wrong all the time. Even when you do something well, it still says, oh, you could have done better. And you see it in yourself, and you grew up with that. And somehow you've turned out pretty good too, you see. So that doesn't mean you can't relieve people of that internal complaint that they're not okay. Because if you are kind,
but it comes from you.
Yeah, if you are kind to you, you'll be kind to them.
And they'll feel it.
And they'll learn kindness, not as a dictate, but as an experiential example. They'll see what kindness is by the way you relate to you. You know, over the years, people have said that they see Ariel and I in relationship, and they want a relationship like that. Well, I'm kind to me, And by extension, I'm kind to Ariel. Because if I was hard on me, I'd be hard on Ariel. And when we started, we were hard on each other. It wasn't something nice because we didn't know how to be kind to ourselves. We had that internal voice that said, no, you got to strive and go further and work harder and, more reps.
And if there was
than
ever a disconnect, it was always his fault. And from his perspective,
her
it was always
fault.
my fault, rather than we're mutually disconnected at the moment.
Yeah.
And so if you're kind to yourself, you'll be kind to your son. You'll be kind to the people that come to you for nutritional coaching,
And to your husband.
especially
Yes.
your husband.
Yes, definitely.
You know, I was just flashing on, Shia has a rheumatologist. He has rheumatoid arthritis, and we see her every 6 months because he's in remission now. And we love getting together with her and talking with her. She's a lovely lady. She's actually even, attended our seminars. She got so fascinated at how he could be so alive during the time he was in such extreme pain. Since then, it's gone. But one of the things,
So COVID has also shown up,
Yeah.
and she's got a new baby and
lots
another
of-
young child.
lots of COVID patients, and
Right, and
whatnot.
lots of patients, right.
But she looked at his blood test, and she was talking to him about having to drink more water, that it would be really good for his organs. And he held up his espresso cup and said, well, I drink a lot of coffee, which, as you know, and I know, and Jaya knows, is a dehydrator. So it may be liquid, but it's exactly the opposite of what you need to do if you need more hydration. And she started laughing. Oh, that is just, that's a dehydrator. And it wasn't like, no, don't do that. There was no finger shaking at him in her way of being. She laughed along with him. And it was a very interesting thing in the days and weeks following that meeting. It's become easier and easier to drink more water at different intervals during the day, because it wasn't coming from the framework that where we were starting from was wrong. It was fun. It was funny. Oh, yes, this is us. We love our espresso. Now what?
I'll just drink more water,
And it's always this small little step you have to take. And I know so many patients I have with the same problem. Like, yes, I drink, but coffee.
Yes, but that's not, but you see, whoa, you just said it was a problem. It's not a problem.
I don't mean it. No, I don't mean it's a problem. Or not you said
You said it was a problem. And
Plus, you said there's a little step you need to take.
There is no step to take.
There's no step.
You see, look, drinking water is a tasty thing that I enjoy doing. It's not like I do my life wrong. I can't.
No, you
But
can't.
here's
I'm
the
just
thing.
wrong, yes.
We've all been trained to be dictators.
Yes.
We dictate to ourselves, and we dictate, if
To
that's the case,
others.
to others. So it's really what she did, and this is like celebrating the unexpected. She had no clue Shai was going to say that. She celebrated it. She made it perfect. From that perfection, there's other options rather than, yes, that's a little problem and you have to take this step. That's change.
See, we're about transformation. Transformation happens in an instant. It happens outside of time, and everything is the same and everything is different in an instant. Circumstances are the same. Your experience of the moment is what shifts. Your ability to experience living is what is rehabilitated in transformation.
It's so amazing. It is so amazing how easy it is and how stuck I'm sometimes in this. Yes, it's a problem. No, it is not. It's fun. You're right. Oh, I'm so glad to know you. It's amazing. Thank you.
And we're so glad
To know you, and thank you.
Thanks for
and you're
being with
welcome.
us today. You're really a treat and a gift to all the listeners.
Thank you very much.
And everybody else in your life as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you.
Wow, that was fun.
Yes, it was.
If you want to be a guest or submit a listener spotlight of your own, which you heard in the middle of the show, you can go to transformationmadeeasy.com/being here and find out how. Next week's episode.
The Mind's Playground.
That sounds interesting.
I wonder what that's about.
We'll find
We'll
out
find out
next week.
next
So
week.
come on back.
And don't miss being here.